Shalom, everybody. Rabbi Edelstein here with this week's installment of Rabbi E in 3, brought to you as always by MEOR DC. Please find us on our Facebook page or check out our website, meordc.org, and be in touch. I'm sure you've all heard of the phrase glatt kosher. To keep kosher completely as much as we can, to follow the dietary laws as they're enumerated in the Torah and the rabbinic tradition. That's what's called glatt kosher, and it's an important part of Jewish life, very important. The dietary laws sanctify our bodies. It's soul food, physical food that's spiritually helpful for our pathway in life, and it elevates the whole Jewish home. Yes, oh yes, to be glatt kosher, it's an important goal for a Jewish person. But there's something no less important. Glatt YOSHAR. Rabbis of the previous generation used to say that. They used to say, just like a Jewish person should be glatt kosher, they should be glatt YOSHAR. And it was a play on words, the similarity of the sounding of the words. But YOSHAR means upright, a person of integrity, honest and trustworthy and truthful. Just like the dietary laws are part of our pathway to holiness, so are laws of interpersonal ethics and righteousness, and that we should be honest with our fellow man, Jewish people, non-Jewish people, with the following the laws faithfully of the government of the country we live in, to be upright, YOSHAR, glatt YOSHAR. Why am I mentioning this now? There have been scandals in the news. I'm not going to go into details now. There are always scandals out there, but some have hit close to home recently, and we have to remember and reflect and always deepen our commitment to being glatt YOSHAR. The truth is, whether or not we follow the dietary laws, we should all appreciate how important it is to be people of truth and honesty and integrity and uprightness. We can all aspire to that. And it connects to this week's Torah portion as well. By the way, keeping kosher will ipso facto help us in that quest as well. But it takes work. We can appreciate this week's Torah portion, a very unpleasant individual, in fact, a corrupt and evil individual named Balaam, a non-Jewish prophet hired by the Moabite king Balak to curse the Jewish people. This person, Balaam, was actually a very wise person in certain ancient arts, a person who had spiritual perceptions of a sort of godliness, but he twisted them and he gave in to his own evil inclination. An unsavory character, Balaam. But when he tries to curse the Jewish people, God, Hashem, puts in his mouth beautiful blessings. Some of the most beautiful verses in the whole Torah come out of Balaam's unholy mouth. And one of the verses is, as he's looking down at the Jewish encampment below, he says, Tamos nafshi mos yesharim. May my soul die the death of the yesharim, the upright, that word YOSHAR. He was saying, I want to die like the ones who are glatt YOSHAR. He perceived the righteousness of the individuals in the Jewish people, or the righteousness of the laws that lead us, hopefully, to be a righteous nation. He said, I want to die the death of the righteous, of the upright. And the commentaries point out, he didn't want to live that way. It's hard to live that way for all of us. There are temptations everywhere. Whether it comes to the dietary laws, temptations to violate those, temptations to cut corners, to cheat, to be corrupt, to find loopholes. No. We can be glatt YOSHAR. It's a struggle, like everything important. We have to work, can't give in to temptation. We can be glatt YOSHAR, not just die the death of the righteous, but live a righteous life. Good Shabbos.